Hello, students. Today we will continue with the chapter of our Earth and our solar system. The first thing we are going to learn is about gravity. All heavenly bodies exert a force of attraction or a pull on one another. This force is called the force of gravity. The sun exerts a gravitational pull on all planets, whereas the tendency of the planets is to move away from the sun. As a result of these two forces, a planet keeps revolving around the sun at a fixed distance in a fixed orbit. In the same way, satellites revolve around their planets. Now, what is gravity? Gravity is a force which tries to pull two objects towards each other. Anything which has mass means anything which is heavy, also has a gravitational pull. Anything which is heavy, where it will come down. It won't move upwards. It will always come down. That is called the gravitational pull. The more massive an object, more massive means the more heavier an object is, the stronger its gravitational pull. Is how much heavier the object is, it will always come downwards. It won't move upwards. Earth's gravity is what keep Earth's gravity is what keeps you on the ground and what causes objects to fall. Anything, Earth's gravity also helps us to walk on the ground. Are we flying? We are not flying, right? We are walking on the ground just because of the Earth's gravity. Move to the next slide. Due to the Earth's gravity, all things on the Earth remain on it. Even if we throw something upwards with great force, it finally falls down to the ground. If we throw anything, for example, the force that causes a ball you throw in the air, if you throw a ball in the air, what will happen? Will it move upwards? If you throw a ball in the air, will it move upwards? No, it won't move upward. It will come downwards. Example, one more example is the force that causes an apple to fall downward from an apple tree. If from a tree an apple falls, how it will fall? It will fall downwards or upwards? It will fall downwards. See, there are three pictures. In which direction do these things fall? Leaves, flowers, fruits from a tree. In which direction does it fall? Upwards or downwards? Downwards. The next is rain falling from the sky. How the rain falls how? Downwards. Now when it rains, it will fall downwards. We'll move to the next slide. Space. The emptiness between and beyond the stars and planets is called the space or outer space. Now, what do we find in space? The planets, the stars, these all things are found on the space. But can we go on the space? Can we human beings go on the space? Yes, we can go on the space. Okay? Everything beyond or whatever is there beyond the stars, there is a vast space. The space is not very, like, it's not very small. There is a vast space. That open space or outer space is called as the space. We move to the next slide. People have always been curious about the heavenly bodies in the sky. Now, what are the heavenly bodies? The stars, the planets, the moon, they are called heavenly bodies which we see in the sky. They have always wanted to reach them. Now, there are always people curious about that, they want to reach to that star, or means we cannot reach over there, but they are curious about reaching. They have always wanted to reach them. However, to send some object from the earth into space, it must be given power against the force of gravity. So anything from the earth to go towards the space, you need to give power. It can't move like that only. Okay, we move to the next slide. One example is, just see in the slide, one of the Diwali firecrackers is called a rocket. It is packed with explosive substances. The explosive burns rapidly and produce a lot of energy. The design of the rocket is such that the firecracker is pushed in a certain direction at a great speed. Now, we all know that one of the Diwali firecrackers is called as a rocket. Now, what do you need for to burn a rocket? You need fire first of all to burn a rocket, right? That is Now, in that firecracker, in that rocket, what things are there? Chemicals are there, gunpowder is put, right? In that. Now, how it moves rapidly with great force. The explosive burns rapidly and produce a lot of energy. It goes with great force. Will it wait in between? No. Because of the chemicals in that, it moves very fast upwards. In a certain direction means with great speed it moves in a certain direction. Now, what is the direction? How is the direction it will move to? Will it move downwards? No, it will move upwards. Move to the next slide. However, to send some object from the Earth into space, it must be given power against the force of gravity. Anything to move towards the space, you have to give power. Rocket technology or space launch technology is used for that purpose. So there are different technologies which are being used for that purpose to send something towards the space. Very powerful rockets are used to send a spacecraft into space. A tremendous quantity of fuel is burnt in the rocket so that the spacecraft weighing thousands of tons can be launched into space. Now, to send any spacecraft into the space, what you need? A lots of quantity of fuel. Now, what is fuel? Fuel is gas. The spacecrafts are very heavy. Is the spacecraft light? Can you carry it in your hand just as the way you carry the rocket, the firecracker rocket? No, you cannot carry the spacecraft. Why? Because see, it's saying it's spacecraft weighs thousands of tons. Thousands of tons means it's very, very heavy. They are very heavy, and in order to push them on top, when in order to move them on top, they need a lot of fuel has to be burnt into it. A lot of fuel gets burnt into it, as you can see in the picture. A lot of fuel you need, then only it will move upwards. In the 12th century, a few countries of the world developed space technology and sent hundreds of spacecraft into space. From that, our country is well known. In space technology, India is well known. Our country is well known for the development of its space launch technology. Some spacecraft remain in space. Some are brought back to Earth, while some land on other planets or satellites. Now, if there is someone in the spacecraft, then that spacecraft comes back. Otherwise, some spacecraft remain over there only on other planets or satellites. Man-made satellites. Man-made satellites provide useful information for agriculture, environment, weather forecasting, making maps, and searching for water and mineral wealth on the earth. They are also used for telecommunication. Man-made satellites are also used for telecommunication. Now, what is the meaning of telecommunication? Telecommunication means between two people. For example, our television or our telephones, we talk now, we communicate to each other. How we communicate? Through a telephone. When you call someone, you talk from one side and you talk, the other person talks from the other side. So that is one type of telecommunication. Another is the mobile phones. All all work because of the satellites that are being launched. Nowadays you can even do video calling. That is a way of telecommunication, two people talking at the same time. They are put into orbit around the Earth. They can remain in space for many, many years. They can remain there in space. India's space missions. Our country is well known for the development of the space technology. Our country, as I told you before, India is well known for the space technology. On 22nd October 2008, the Indian Space Research Organization, that is called as ISRO. You have to pronounce this as ISRO. And the full form of ISRO is Indian Space Research Organization. ISRO launched a spacecraft to the moon. This mission is known as Chandrayaan 1. We move to the next slide. In some missions, scientists always travel in the spacecraft. They are called astronauts. Now, people who travel in the spacecraft go to space. What are they called? They are called as astronauts. Now, you can see the picture of an astronaut, right? Now, why that astronaut is in a slanting position? Why is he in a slanting position? Because there is no gravitational pull. How on earth there is a gravitational pull which we remain on the earth, we remain on the land, but on the space there is no gravitational pull. So you float. That now a person is floating. So a person is floating will always be slanting. So there is no space, there is no gravitational pull. That is why a person floats. Move to the next slide. Now, who's the first Indian astronaut to go in space? The Indian astronaut. The first Indian astronaut to go into space was Rakesh Sharma. Do you know Rakesh Sharma became the first Indian astronaut to go into space in 1984. He spent 8 days on a space station for a joint mission of the ISRO. ISRO means India as well as Russia. ISRO and the Soviet Intercosmos. Seeing India from space, he said that it looked sare jahan se acha. Means he went to space. Now when he went to space, from space he could see our country over there. Means he could see a country from top. So how did he feel when he seen a country? When he seen a country from top, he had a feeling that he could see now other countries you cannot see very detailed. So he felt like he could see his sandy deserts, the greenery, the red mud you can see, and there are so many varieties of trees when you look from India, when you look at India from the space. Now everyone doesn't get a chance to look from top to from the space. Does everyone get a chance to go on space? No. So he when he spotted India from top, he was like very happy. Okay. We'll move to the next slide. Space scientists have not yet been able to find a single other planet which has life on it. Now, this is the single planet. The Earth is a single planet which has life on it, which has living beings staying on it. Therefore, our planet is an invaluable planet. The degradation of its environment for any reason will be a threat to the existence of life itself. That means the degradation means we should not spoil our environment. We should not allow cutting of trees or spoiling the environment by burning the trees. Okay, so what we should do, if that will happen, it will be a threat for our life itself. Move to the next slide. Your homework is you have to find the answers of these questions. The first one is very powerful dash are used to send a spacecraft into space. Second one is what is gravity? And the third question is who was the first Indian astronaut to go to space? That's all for now. Your chapter ends over here. We will learn the next chapter in the next video. Thank you for listening, children. Goodbye. Take care.